That beard looking fresh. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Seth the Line Surgeon. And you already know what time it is. Tipsy talk. Alright, people, today I'm going to talk about a sensitive subject: backups. It's not really a sensitive subject. Maybe at the moment it is for me, but I just wanted to make the video a little bit more dramatic. Anywho, today I'm sipping on my mix. Every once in a while I get tired of bourbon. I drink bourbon all the time, and sometimes I'm like, you know what, I want to switch it up. So I got some Palmer, I got some Burnett's strawberry, and some Seagram's gin, and mix it all in a nice little container, and whenever I want some, I pour a little bit in the cup. I want to apologize for all the people, well, particularly two people, who have made me cups, and I still use this red cup. Oh, Yard Boy, shout out to Oh Yard Boy. He made me that, got me that silver Arctic cup, which I want to say that is my daily use cup. I used that cup. It was a Tipsy Talk cup, and he got Tipsy Talk put on and everything. I use that cup basically every day when I go out to cut. I fill it up with ice because that's like my best tumbler. The best out of all the tumblers I have, that's my best one. It stays frozen the longest. I fill it up with ice, and then I have a gallon of water in the back of my truck, and I just keep refilling it, and the ice stays in there all day. Love it. Shout out, Oh Yard Boy, thank you for that. Second shout out to Triple D, Dante. He made me 2 tipsy cups. Those are my fancy cups. I use those if I'm going somewhere. They all nice and sparkly. So those are my nice cups. But I just always fall back on this red cup. I don't know what it is about me in this cup. Anywho, backups. Alright, let's skip right to it. The ProTurn broke down. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you already know that. For those who don't follow me on Instagram, shame on you. You need to go over to Instagram, or you need to stop this video, pause it right now, go over to Instagram, follow me at Seth the Line Surgeon, and then come back and finish this video. I'll wait. Okay, welcome back. Anywho, so let me tell you what happened, and then I'm gonna tell you why it's important to have backups and how I've had backups. I base backups around my business, you know. Anywho, I was out cutting a yard, and it's so crazy how my business has worked. I've been like blessed to always have an option. I'm not gonna say it hasn't been hard, but I haven't been without. I haven't been in a situation where I didn't have any option. And I know some of y'all out there, you know, your truck break down, you have no other option but to call your customers and tell you I can't do something, or some equipment break down, you have to call your customers. But I've been blessed in my situation, and I hope that you guys are blessed in your situation to have backups. And so that's why I want to tell you and share about my situation with this ProTurn, and how in my business, how I always try to set myself up to have a backup. So this particular day was my, I call it my East End day, right? I cut, all the yards in my neighborhood, which I have about 6 yards in my neighborhood, and then I have 3 yards outside my neighborhood. Now, when I dropped my daughter off at work, I was thinking about going to cut my yards outside of my neighborhood first. Mind you, I had like 10 yards this day. I said maybe I should go cut my yards outside my neighborhood first and then come back and cut my neighborhood yards. I said no, I'm gonna cut these 7 neighborhood yards first and then I'm gonna go outside my neighborhood. So I cut 1 yard and then I went and I cut my 2nd yard. And on my 2nd yard, what I noticed is like I was going by a flower bed and I cut my blades on, and it kind of hesitated, and I was like, that was weird. So then I cut the blades off, I cut it back on again, and it cut on fine. So I was like, oh well. So I went and continued, I cut more. When I got to the backyard, the blades cut completely off. They cut completely off. And I'm like, well, that was weird. But luckily, I'm on my 2nd yard in the neighborhood, so all I had to do was go back and get my Mustang. Of course, my day pretty much doubled because the Gravely can cut yards way faster than the Mustang. But luckily, I had just did the maintenance on my Mustang, put new blades, changed the oil, so that thing was fresh and ready to cut. So as far as cut quality, I didn't miss a step with the Mustang and cut quality. Time, it took me twice as longer, like I said. But yeah, backups are always important. When I first started my business, I had my first riding mower was a Murray 94 Murray 94 Murray, and then I had a 21-inch Yardman, right? So I had that for my first year. Of course, you know, I didn't have a backup that year. Those were my only options, so that's what I had. Then the next year I upgraded to the Mustang. That's when I got my Mustang, 2014, my 2nd year in business. And now I had my Murray as my backup. So I had that for like a year. And then in 2015, I think is when, oh no, I think in 2014, same year, I got the Timemaster. So I got the Mustang, the Timemaster, and at that point I sold my Murray because my Murray had got messed up. I didn't know how to fix it, so I sold it to make a little money. I think I made like $90 on it because the engine was seized up. So yeah, but when I made that decision to sell it, I had to think about if this Mustang breaks down, which it was brand new. I didn't plan on it breaking down, but I knew it could break down. If it break down, what would I use to cut my yards? And I was just confident. That's how confident I was in that Timemaster. I said, if something happens to this Mustang, it breaks down, I could cut a whole yard with that Timemaster. That's how confident I was in it. And so that was my backup. You know, I was living on the edge. Luckily, like I said, I was blessed that the Mustang never broke down. So all those big yards I had to cut, I got the ride. It was one time where my Mustang messed up, and it was because it had a flat tire, and I had to cut a whole big backyard with the Timemaster. But the Timemaster did it, no problem. So then we skipped a couple years, from 2014 to 2016. I upgraded my walk behind mower from my Timemaster to my Toro T-bar. Now, I kept the Timemaster as my backup. Everything I was using my Timemaster for, I was now using my Toro T-bar for, 36-inch. So that was my backup. My Mustang was still my main workhorse. And then I eventually, in 2016, same year, I got my ProTurn. So now, that's why I keep my Timemaster as my backup, for this exact reason. This exact situation I just had the other week, last week or whatever. You always gotta have a backup, people. Even if it's a residential. You know what I'm saying? Even if you go out here and you're somebody just messaged me the other day and they said, hey Seth, what should I start my business with? I told them, I said, a residential push mower. You don't really need to spend money on a commercial push mower starting out. You need a commercial trimmer, multi-tool trimmer. And then third, I would recommend some I didn't say what brand, because not everybody has, you know, every brand around them. Whatever brand's closest to you that you like, a commercial zero turn. And if you have a certain amount of money that you have to spend and you don't have enough to buy that whole commercial zero turn, take that money, what you have, and put it down on the financing. See how much you get approved with financing, and put it down on that finance, and your payments will be less than $100, bro. It's a mower, it's not a car. You know, my payments, I was lucky to be able to buy my ProTurn, but if I had to do payments, it would have been like $140. And the payments for my T-bar was $78. You can't beat that. But yeah, and so like I said, say somebody does that, right? You get a residential 21-inch multi-tool trimmer set and a commercial workhorse, whether it's a standard or zero turn, preferably zero turn, or a walk behind, whatever you want. Once you have all that, at some point in time, if you got between $500 to $1,000, go ahead and buy you some cheap mower, even if it's a garden tractor or cheap zero turn, something as your backup. You know, this is especially because you don't want to seem inefficient. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that guy where you tell somebody, I'm gonna come cut your grass every 2 weeks, and now 2 weeks later you gotta call them, my lawnmower broke. I've had a lot of customers, new customers, where I get them and they say, yeah, the last guy, you know, he was good, but all his equipment always broke down. You know, that's because they didn't have no backups. You know what I mean? And you just got to plan for that. You never know when your mower's gonna break down. I didn't expect my ProTurn to break down. And stay tuned for the video tomorrow, and you will see exactly why it broke down. Petty. It's real petty. It's an important. The reason why it broke down was important, but it's just petty. You're petty. You are petty. Anywho, backups, people. Always have backups. I know I talked for a long time just now just about backups, but they're important. Anywho, thanks for watching. I'm out here sweating because it's hot this week, bro. It's in the 90s all week, bro. Comment, subscribe, stay tuned. Yes, sir.